Hello, I hope you're having a great day. So today I'm just out here harvesting what I can before I go to the florist. And I only got 4 zinnias. So I think the zinnias are just done. Maybe if they were in a greenhouse or a hoop house, or if I had these small hoops covered with greenhouse plastic, then I could have a longer season out of them. Maybe if I had covered them in frost cloth inside of this, they would, but I noticed their leaves just don't look good and they're just not blooming after that cold spell. So I think the zinnias are done for the season. Goodbye, zinnias. But look at these snapdragons. And I got 25 beautiful lisianthus this morning. So that's awesome. And I already had lisianthus in the cooler. I'll show you in a minute what I'm taking to the florist. I did cut everything on Friday. So I'm going to tell them that the zinnias were cut Friday, so they're not going to have as long a vase life. So I'm just kind of giving them double of any of that stuff that won't last as long. And they're okay with that. So because they have tricks and they have things that they need to get out the door, and they'll still last for their customers as long as they need to. So I'm not worried about it. I'm just going to give them extra flowers for them being cut 4 days earlier, and I'm going to let them know that they were cut 4 days earlier. But I am going to give them a bunch of fresh snapdragons and some different stuff, so it'll be good. I can definitely fulfill it. So I'm just going to get to it and cut these snapdragons. And 58 snapdragons. So still harvested probably around $100 worth of flowers today. Not too bad, as long as I can sell them. But that might be it, folks. Tomorrow is our last nice day, and then the temperatures just drop and then continue to drop and drop and drop. And they're below freezing at night for multiple nights in a row. So it's just probably not going to happen. I think everything is going to be done after tomorrow, which since I cut today, yeah, I think that's going to be it. The flower season is wrapping up. I'm going to start digging tubers, getting tulips in the ground, and putting the garden to bed for fall or winter, because it looks like winter is just coming fast. Here is today's florist order. We've got some lisianthus, Dusty Miller, some status, the zinnias. We've got a whole bunch of different varieties of celosia. And then we've got snapdragons, mahogany splendor, hibiscus, some ageratum, and some painter's palette. So it's a good haul, and they'll be making some pretty stuff with this. So I told my florist that they probably only had about 1 order left Thursday or maybe Monday or Tuesday, and that would be it. So the flower season is wrapping up. I'm kind of excited because it does mean a little bit of a break, and I love the planning period where I can plan for next year and go through what worked, what didn't work, and what I want to do differently, and just see if I can clean up more spaces on the farm and just make it a prettier place. That's the end goal, right? Well, that's my end goal. Maybe you guys didn't know that, but I just want to make it a really nice, enjoyable, pretty place to like come and walk around, and it's just gorgeous anyway, so why not make it a little bit better? Okay, I got my florist delivery done, and I think they're going to have 1 more order, and that will be the end of the season. I might have already said that. And now I think I'm going to try to tackle digging some of these gladiola bulbs and just putting them in my gorilla cart. So, and I brought a little like pitchfork. We'll see if that works. I think I got them all. I guess I would never know unless I dug everything up. But I mainly just got everything with leaves on it, and it seems like a lot of them, so I think I'm good. Actually, there are a few more right here next to the dahlias, and I was gonna tackle those too, so I'll do that now. Okay, so I got what I wanted. I didn't get everything because there were a bunch of dahlias that I didn't even like, and they don't last that long. So I was like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna get better varieties. If you remember, this year was just a testing year. There were a couple that I really liked, and then I did get some. I had like multiples of the ones I didn't care for as much, so I got one of each of those because the clump will have multiple tubers on it. So I think that's it. Okay, so I've laid out some cardboard. It has some tape on it. That doesn't really matter. But I'm gonna I'm like, it doesn't matter, but here, let me pull it off because that looked like a really big chunk. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay my glads out on these cardboard. I might have to put some more out than that. I just started with this. But I'm going to let them out so that the bulbs will dry and cure. It is supposed to freeze, so it was getting like 30 degrees at night. If you did this and it wasn't going to freeze, you could just leave them on the soil and they'd cure out and dry in the air, which is probably better for them. But it did freeze, and then it's gonna just keep freezing, and before the ground froze, I wanted to get them dug out. So I'm just gonna let them dry out and cure in here, and then when I'm done, I'll video it. I'll probably just clean up the bulbs and the corms and stick them in a box between newspapers. And I won't have to rebuy them next year, and hopefully they're even bigger and better flowers. Most people would dig them when they're all brown like this, because that's when you usually dig them to make sure that most of the nutrients got sucked through the green leaves for the season. But I think mine are good. Most of the tips are turning brown. We already had a frost. We want to get them out of the ground before it freezes completely. So that's why I dug them now. Okay, so now the dahlias, which I wouldn't even, you don't have to follow my advice on the dahlias. Most people would have cut all of this off before they even started, but I just thought it was easy to pull them out. And most people, before they would start, would label, like they would stick a label around here. But I don't really care because I don't have that many dahlias. So I'm just going to cut these off, stick them in a corner so I can go dump all of that. I should have done that out in the field. Okay, so now I'm just going to take my cart back outside. I'm going to put the tubers next to the water faucet so I can rinse them off, and I'll just rinse them off and then I'll let them dry and then I'll store them as well. So I'm going to do that really quick. Well, my phone battery died, so I charged it a little bit, and I'm just going to show you. I rinsed off all the dahlias and brought them back inside, and I just set them out to let them dry, which this is what I did last year. And they all came up this year. I'm gonna let them sit there and get kind of dry, and then I will come along and clean them up. Now, you could clean them up right now. There's some that are punctured, some that broke off when I ripped them out of the ground. I did not probably do it the most professional way. As you guys know, I wasn't that enthused with the dahlias, and if I do decide to do dahlias, I will probably buy better varieties. These are just like the singles mainly. There were a couple that were really pretty. I did save those clumps. I don't know which ones they are, so I'll have to just do all of these, which is not a big deal. There's not that many. That's the nice thing about it. But I'm just gonna leave these here, and if I decide to do dahlias, I'll probably buy some nicer tubers and then really start doing the process like you see everybody else doing. But me, I just throw them in the ground if I find a good area. That was not a good area for them. It gets too much shade. I never hardly got any flowers. So it was a good test because last year I dug them up. I did all of this. They did come up, but they didn't really flower because they're getting too much shade. So next year I will try them in another spot. And when I find a good dahlia spot, I might invest some money in having really nice dahlias and doing that. And until then, I will keep testing and seeing if it's something I want to pursue. So anyway, I think that's all I'm going to get to today. I do have a few more dahlias out there. I might dig them up, even though I don't like them as much. I might dig them up if I have time. I did want to get these started and not run out of time, and I think I did that. So in a couple weeks, I'll be back to continue this project. So I think that's gonna be it. It was another day in the life on the flower farm. I got a lot done. I'm going to be getting to my tulips. I haven't even gone out, but you know what? I thought, why would I unpackage all of these just to make a check mark and make sure that I got them? I'll just take my sheet of paper out in the field, and as I take them out of the boxes and put them out, I will go ahead and check them off. I think we're getting them in the ground soon enough that I can do that. Last year, they were so late. I think I did that too. But anyway, I think that's what I'm gonna do with my tulips, so I will give you an update when that's done. I hope everybody enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great day.